79T, 2458, Learning Corp, Little Red Riding Hood, take one.
Once upon a time, there was a little girl who was loved by everyone who knew her. She was especially loved by her grandmother, who did everything she could think of to make the little girl happy. One day, her grandmother gave her a present, a red velvet hood. The little girl liked it so much that she always wore it, and so she got the name of Little Red Riding Hood. One day, her mother said, "Come here, Red Riding Hood. Take this basket of food to Grandmother. She is sick and weak, and this will make her feel better. But be careful. Go as quickly as you can, and don't leave the path or stop to play." "I'll be careful," promised Little Red Riding Hood. Red Riding Hood's grandmother lived deep in the forest. Red Riding Hood was walking happily along the path when along came a wolf. "Hello." "Hello," squeaked Red Riding Hood. "Where are you going so early?" "To my grandmother's." "And what's that in your basket?" "I'm bringing Grandmother some food to make her feel better. She's sick today." "Where does your grandmother live, Little Red Riding Hood?" "Oh, about 20 minutes from here, near the nut hedges. You must know the place." "I've got to go now. Bye." The wolf followed Little Red Riding Hood for a while, thinking hard of a way to trick her. "Look at the pretty flowers, Red Riding Hood," he said. "Why don't you look around you? I don't think you even see how beautiful the butterflies are and how sweetly the birds are singing. You walk as solemnly as if you were going to school, but it's so bright and pretty here in the woods." Red Riding Hood looked around her. Suddenly she saw the beautiful butterflies and the sunlight dancing through the trees and all the lovely flowers. And she said, "It would make Grandmother happy if I picked her a bouquet of flowers." So Little Red Riding Hood began to pick flowers, straying deeper and deeper into the forest as she went. Meanwhile, the wolf ran straight to Grandmother's cottage. He knocked on the door. "Is that you, Red Riding Hood?" called Grandmother. "Yes, Grandmother, I've brought you some food that Mother sent." "Just lift the latch, dear. I'm too weak to get up," called Grandmother. The wolf opened the door, went straight up to the bed without saying a word, and ate the poor old woman up. Then he put on her clothes and her nightcap and lay down in her bed. Meanwhile, Little Red Riding Hood realized how late it was and remembered her promise to hurry straight to Grandmother's. She was surprised to see Grandmother's door swinging open. She felt quite frightened, but she didn't know why. "Good morning, Grandmother," she called out, but no one answered. Little Red Riding Hood went into the bedroom. There was Grandmother, but she looked very strange. "Oh, Grandmother, what big ears you have!" "The better to hear you with, my dear." "Grandmother, what big eyes you have!" "The better to see you with, my dear." "Grandmother, your hands!" "The better to grab you with, my dear." "But Grandmother, what big teeth you have!" "The better to eat you up with, my dear." And with that, the wolf ate her up. Then he lay down on the bed and fell asleep, snoring loudly. A hunt Walter was walking in the woods nearby and thought, "How loudly the old woman is snoring." I'd better check in and see if everything's all right. He looked into the room and found the wolf asleep in Grandmother's bed. He realized that the wolf might have eaten the old woman. But he knew what to do. Out popped Red Riding Hood, crying, "Oh, how frightened I was, how dark it was inside the wolf." Her grandmother climbed right out after her. How happy they were. Together, they filled the wolf's belly with stones and sewed him up so that he would never bother anyone again. Little Red Riding Hood was very happy and promised herself that she would never wander into the forest again when her mother told her not to.